When I was at Moore College as a student, I was really focused on going to the Newcastle Anglican Diocese, which is where I'm from. I'm from the Hunter Valley. I wanted to go back there into the church that I grew up in, having been converted in Sydney. I wanted to go back, and that was my focus.
I came here to do Bible and missions, and I thought that after a year I'd be off in Africa somewhere with CMS. Through college, I just decided I just loved learning from the Bible, and I was getting more and more experience in teaching others, discipling people. And I thought that's where I want my focus to be, not in medicine.
We became increasingly aware of a call for overseas ministry, particularly in training pastors. And so we went to CMS and said, we think we might be called to be training pastors. We're certainly interested in that. What do you think about it? They said, well, that's great. Everywhere in the world needs pastors. Where do you want to go? We had no idea. But here we are, kind of 15 years later, in Namibia. So we've been in Africa for the last 7 years.
Straight after graduation in 2008, I moved back to Brisbane to take on being a pastor at the church I actually grew up in. So I've been in this church since I was 12. My uncle was the pastor back in those days. And I never thought I'd come back and pastor here, to be honest.
I remember having a chat with another minister who'd been going through a hard time in his parish, and asked him what kept him going. His response was he was convinced that was where God wanted him to be, and so God would sustain him through that. And so when we came to visit over a course of 5 days, we met people who were lovely and polite and friendly. But there was also this great conviction in both Joe and my hearts that this was actually a right fit, and it did make a lot of sense. And so we thought, well, if God wants us to be here, He'll support us and sustain us through this.